Hi, everybody. Craig from URComped here. We're about to start our interview with Darryl, which was filmed on March 11th. Today it's March 30th. And the difference between March 11th to March 30th is about 500 years in coronavirus time. So a lot of what we talked about, even though it's only been 2.5 weeks, may not be relevant anymore. Some promotions Darryl talks about, the casinos may not be open in time. I know our cruise, which was scheduled for May 15th, it's looking like that it definitely isn't going to be in the same form that it was if it happens at all. So anyway, there's a lot of changes. I would just want to enter the video with a couple caveats that what we talk about, even though it was only 2 weeks ago, it may be outdated. So without further ado, enjoy this interview with myself and Darryl McEwen from Seven Stars Insider.
Hello, everybody. We're here for another edition of our interview with the great Darryl McEwen, Seven Stars Insider, Mr. AC Casino. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for all the flattery.
It's well deserved. I could go on for 5 minutes talking about all your accomplishments. Not least of which is surviving one URComped Seven Stars Insider meetup cruise and signing up for another. All right, so why don't we transition to one of your areas of expertise, Caesars, and there's a lot of changes that are coming, mergers, changes to the rewards programs, different annual benefits. So where do you want to start?
Well, why don't we can't say anything for certain about the merger, but since you mentioned it, for those who might not know, Caesars Entertainment was approached by a competitor, Eldorado Gaming Incorporated, to merge, and so they have about 20 properties, and Caesars has about 40. So we're looking at 60, 70 casinos altogether, and they're hoping to have this completed by before June, or at least sometime in June, in the first half of the year. And about half the state gaming commissions have approved the merger, which is a requirement. And then, of course, the Federal Trade Commission also has to approve it. Nobody seems to see that there's going to be a problem. Eldorado is already selling some of its properties where there might be an antitrust concern. Just yesterday, as a matter of fact, they announced that the Mont Bleu Resort in Lake Tahoe is being sold to Maverick Gaming. So that relieves Caesars from its obligation, since they've got Harrah's Lake Tahoe and Harvey's Lake Tahoe, which are two beautiful properties. And I think I was at the Mont Bleu many years ago, but I think that was a wise decision to keep Harvey's and Harrah's and dump Mont Bleu. So there are other examples in other states where that's happening. But I think it's going to go through. It's just a matter of when. And there are some new financial concerns because of the stock market and some of the bank loans that were promised. But I think this is all going to weather out. I'm hopeful.
Yeah, it is exciting times, and like you mentioned, this mini stock market crash due to coronavirus couldn't have happened at a worse time for Eldorado, because from what I understand, they're borrowing a bunch of money to complete the merger, taking on a lot of debt, and some of the collateral, I think that's how it works out, some of the collateral is their stock, and if the stock price is down 40%, then there's not as much collateral, and that makes the banks a little nervous. But like you said, I think cooler heads will prevail, and probably the merger will go through.
Yeah, let's hope so. And I guess related to this, you mentioned about benefits. I know I've had a number of emails and phone calls and conversations. People are concerned about when the programs are merged, should they go ahead and earn their diamond level or earn their 7 stars? Will the benefits that they're getting as a result of earning that last year continue into the next year? And as they say on television, my sources are telling me that people really shouldn't have anything to worry about. Now, caveat, who knows what's going to happen when it's done? But there's so many other things that the merged company is going to have to deal with. The benefits of 7 stars or diamond are probably the least of which. So I don't think anybody has too much to worry about. I think the annual trip will continue. I think their relationship with NCL in terms of their cruise, the $500 celebration dinners, I think you're going to still see all those benefits go through. There would be a big protest among players if somebody earned their 150,000 tier credits by the end of December and then found out on January 15th that a lot of the benefits that they were expecting to receive are no longer there. So I just don't think it would be good PR for the merged company to do anything, at least this first year, without any warning.
I'd have to agree with you. And since we're talking about benefits, why don't we get into some of the benefits as they stand today? One of them is what used to be called the Diamond Lounge when I worked for Harrah's and now Caesars. They've now transitioned to the Laurel Lounge, and it's a little bit different where it's not everybody, if you have a Diamond card, can get in. What is it now? Fill us in on what the policy is.
Well, I think that was one of the reasons for the name change, because one would assume if you had a Diamond card that you could, have entry into the Diamond Lounge. But what happened, and I believe it began in Atlantic City a couple of years ago. If you were a Diamond card holder, which requires earning at least 15,000 tier credits in a calendar year, you would get complimentary admission. What they did was institute a charge of 10 comp dollars, 1,000 reward credits per person to enter the lounge, unless you had 25,000 or more tier credits from the previous year or in the current year, and then it would be complimentary. So that's now moved over into every other Caesars property. So that's been at least for the last year or so. And what they've done to make it a little easier to identify these people with 25,000 is they established 2 new Diamond tier levels. So your basic Diamond card is at 15,000. Once you hit 25,000 tier credits in a calendar year, you get a Diamond Plus card, and that gives you all the benefits of Diamond plus getting into the Laurel Lounges for free. You and a guest. And then if you want to bring up to 2 more people, you can, but it's up to the manager on duty. If the lounge is very busy, they probably wouldn't let you do it. But if they're not real busy, they will allow you to bring 2 additional guests, but you will pay for those. And then the big benefit is when you hit 75,000 tier credits, you become Diamond Elite, and you get all the benefits of Diamond and Diamond Plus. Plus, you get a $600 airfare credit. The catch is it's only good to fly to Las Vegas. So, and it doesn't include a hotel. But most people who are at that 75,000 tier level probably have offers from Las Vegas, or they could contact a host out there and get a complimentary room for 1 or 2 nights. You can either go through your host to book that airline ticket, or you can book it yourself and get reimbursed once you get to Las Vegas by showing your receipt at the Caesars Reward Center. But you also have to be physically staying in a Caesars property at the time you do that. So I'm not sure how it works if your host makes your reservation. I don't know how maybe you still have to prove, because you're already, the airfare is taken care of. So I'm not really sure how that works, but I'm sure there's some way that they'll find out. But that's a pretty nice benefit.
Absolutely. And so it
used to be immediately, or almost immediately. Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt, but they claim that about the end of the week following the date that you earn that 75,000 tier credits, you're immediately eligible to take advantage of that offer. So.
Now, did it used to be, because I remember it was a couple, 3-4 years ago, there was Diamond, did they used to call it like Tier 1 and Tier 2 Diamond?
They were called a Diamond Aspiration level.
Yes, that's right.
Which was very confusing. The name didn't mean much to people, but you're correct. It included a trip, I think it was a $750 airfare credit at 80,000. It was 40,000 and 80,000.
That's right.
And at 40,000, you got I think a hotel stay and a food and beverage credit and free rides on the high roller out in Las Vegas. And then at 75,000, you got 80,000, you got a $750 airfare credit. But you could use that to go anywhere. This credit is restricted to Las Vegas.
And then, so how about 7 stars? What are the benefits? Is that still the same? Still $1,200?
Everything stayed the same this year. For 7 stars, you get a $1,200 airfare credit. You get for what they call it a retreat, and you need to go to any city that has a Caesars property. So you can go to Las Vegas, you can go to Council Bluffs, you can go to New Orleans, and you get with that a $500 folio credit to use toward food and beverage purchases and buy show tickets. The exception, of course, I did mention New Orleans is New Orleans, where they don't have a whole lot of restaurants, so they just add $500 to your reward credits account. But you get that. You get transportation from the destination airport to the hotel you're staying at, and vice versa. In addition to the retreat, you get $500, let's call them gift certificates that you can use for dinners at your local casino or anywhere you go. They call them celebration dinners, but you can use them for breakfast if you want. So that's a benefit. Of course, you jump to the head of the line if there is a line if you're 7 stars, and just a lot of nice perks. Guaranteed hotel rooms with advance notice. But those benefits all stayed the same.
So in addition to the 7 stars annual retreat, there's also signature events, right? And what are those for this year?
And those were just announced about a week ago. There will be 3. There normally have been 4. Last year there were only 3 because New Orleans was this very popular destination. It was in the middle of building a new concert venue. And they were also in the process of negotiating contracts with some of the sports teams down there. So they just felt that they really couldn't do a good job. So I was a bit surprised that New Orleans wasn't on the list this year. So it will just be three locations: Atlantic City, Lake Tahoe, and Las Vegas. The Lake Tahoe event, as it was last year, is restricted to those who earned 500,000 or more tier credits last year. So it's considered an elite event, and that it has a little bit higher caliber program and probably fancier menus and so forth. But the Atlantic City and Las Vegas trips, the programs are pretty much similar to what they've been for the last few years. But they're nice events, and you have to get there on your own, whichever one you choose. But once you get there, your room is free, and they have some nice events and concerts. Of course, Las Vegas has, I think, has Sting. They have a little bit, better choices in terms of the entertainment. But it's a nice event. It's a good chance to meet other 7 stars from other parts of the country, and I would encourage people to attend if they can.
Now, 500,000, that is a lot of tier credits. Are there any opportunities coming up where maybe people can get a little bit of a shortcut to try to earn extra tier credits?
Yes, there's a weekend coming up, and it's April 10th to 12th, and you can get 5 times tier credits. Now, you'll see a lot of promotions for multipliers that mostly those are reward credits. This is a tier credit multiplier. It is Easter weekend, so a lot of people probably wouldn't be able to take advantage of it, but it's good at any Caesars property. However, you must register in advance. And once again, if you go to my website, 7starsinsider.com, I've put a link there. So all you have to do is click the link and type in your first and your last name, and it should be identical to how it is listed on your player card and your account number, and you're set. So and in Laughlin this weekend, I think coming up or last weekend, they were doing 10 times tier credits. So watch your emails, and a lot of the individual casinos are doing special promotions, and they are tier credit multipliers. Of course, in addition, you've got daily tier credit multipliers, which are good throughout the year. If you earn 500 tier credits in one day, you get 125 bonus. If you earn 1,000, you get another 1,000 bonus. If you earn 2,500, you get a 5,000 bonus. And if you earn 5,000, you get a 10,000 bonus. So you earn 5,000 tier credits in a gaming day, you could be diamond immediately.
Well, like you said, check your emails, but I would encourage people, again, if you're like me, you get probably several hundred emails a day with different promotions from different businesses, casinos, whatever. So I'd encourage you to keep checking Darryl's website, because you do check all those emails, especially from Caesars. You make it in a very easy to digest
I see
format.
something that's really big, like this 5 times multiplier. I'll try to promote it prominently and make it easy for people to sign up for it, because a lot of people will see it and they don't realize that they have to opt in, and so that's something you have to watch very carefully for.
Well, and then a couple other big events that are pretty much always on the Caesars calendar. Quest for Rewards. I guess maybe that's relatively new, right? That's in the last couple of years they started doing that.
Doing it every year now. And again, you have to sign up to be eligible, and it's going to end March 31st. It started in January 1st for 3 months. And what that involves is every time you go to a different Caesars casino and you earn at least 25 tier credits, you get what they call a badge. It's a virtual badge, and the more you earn, the more bonus tier credits you'll get, and the more entries into some drawings. And I think one of them is for maybe 1 million reward credits or something. There's again on the Caesars website or online, you can get a list of all the badges. There's a badge for playing slots. There's a badge for playing video poker. There's a badge if you dine at a Caesars restaurant. Again, the caveat there is you can't use your reward credits. You got to pay cash or a credit card to pay for your meal, and it has to be at least a $25 meal or more. But those all add up, and that program will end on March 31st. So anybody who's out there, going to be traveling to a casino or even their local casino, make sure you earn at least 25 tier credits to get that badge.
I wish they gave a Letterman jacket, like a Caesars Letterman jacket, and you could put all your badges on your sleeves.
Or like the Boy Scouts, they used to have those sash things that you'd wear with them.
I like it. That would look good on a toga. You have your Caesars Quest for Rewards toga with your badges. And then great gift wrap up. I know that is always a huge event. What's going on with that this year?
Well, they just announced there will be 2 sessions, as I think there have been most years. There'll be one in November and one in December. They'll both take place at Caesars Palace. Again, for those who aren't familiar with it, you earn. It's based on the tier credits that you earn. You get so many great gift wrap up points, and then they equate to a number of dollars, shopping dollars. But you can only earn those at the Nevada casinos, the California casinos, and Ak-Chin in Arizona. So it doesn't do you any good to any play you have in Atlantic City or Council Bluffs or New Orleans. That doesn't count, but it's only your play on those West Coast casinos. And they have some pretty important, pretty spectacular gifts. I mean, some people have enough that they can get a car. And if the gifts themselves don't appeal to you, you can also exchange your points for free play, which a lot of people do. I know when I've done it, I've done it for gift cards. You can always use a gas gift card. You're always going to need to fill up your car. So it's not necessarily that you need to actually buy a physical gift. I mean, who needs another blender? But you can use it for free play or for gift cards, which I tend to do.
Well, so you mentioned Nevada and California casinos. My mind first went, oh yeah, it's just Harrah's San Diego or Harrah's Rincon, or Harrah's Southern California. I can't remember what they call it now, but I forgot that now there's a Northern California Harrah's Casino.
What's Northern California?
What's it like?
Ione, California. It's near Sacramento. I think about an hour from Sacramento. They don't have a hotel, but it's the newest of the properties, and they just opened a Laurel Lounge. So they're slowly, getting up to speed in terms of being a full service property.
What's early feedback you've been hearing from your readers?
To be honest, Craig, I haven't heard a lot of feedback. Most people haven't been there, so I don't know. I know the assistant general manager, and according to her, everything is going great, and I'm sure it is. But I haven't really heard much feedback from people who've been there, and I haven't been there myself. So
yeah, it's tough when there's not a hotel, but I feel like I've bought a bottle of wine before that had Ione on it. I think that's wine country around there. So
Probably, yeah. And if you're a good enough player, they will. There are some hotels and guest houses, B&Bs around there, and they will make arrangements for you to stay. So I wouldn't worry too much about not having a hotel. But there is something about it's like the Horseshoe Baltimore. I love that property, but again, there's no hotel. And there's sometimes when you're playing and you want to just take a break, and it's nice to be able to get on an elevator and go up to your room and lie down for an hour or watch TV or whatever. And so that is kind of a downside, even though they will give you a room if you're of a certain level player.
well, again, one place you won't have to worry about walking across the street is the Adventure of the Seas on May 15th, where
Good plug.
yeah, good plug. I cannot wait. You can walk up one flight to get the pizza. You can walk, get in the elevator, go straight up. So I am pumped about that. Is there anything else we didn't cover today in our interview we wanted to?
I don't know. I made a few notes here. I think everything is. The only thing I guess is there are some tier renewal events, and now some casinos will even do an event for diamond level players somebody who's maybe a first time earned the diamond level or is renewing, but all of them are doing something for 7 stars. So if you're a new 7 stars card holder or you're renewing your 7 stars card, and the events, every casino does it differently. Some have cocktail parties, and some have sit down dinners. Some will make a 1 or 2 day event. They'll include a slot tournament, or they'll give you 7 times reward credits. But at a minimum, you'll get your choice of some gifts. There's an Omaha Steak collection. There's a headphones. There's a television. They're giving. I don't have the list in front of me, but again, go to the 7 Stars Insider website. The list is there, and you'll choose one of those gifts, and they'll drop ship it to your house or your office or wherever you want. So you don't have to schlep around a 55-inch TV around the casino. But yeah, that's another nice benefit of the 7 Stars that we didn't talk about earlier, is this annual gift that you get. But you have to attend the event. That's where they get you.
Well, it's I guess it's kind of like the cruise certificate events where you got to show up if you want to get that cruise certificate, and a lot of.
I haven't heard from your casino. I haven't been as successful as I hoped in getting all of the event dates, but the dates that I have are again, they're on the 7 Stars Insider website. If you click on the latest news link on the homepage, you'll get a page that on the right-hand side is a column that includes events, the renewal events, anything that's kind of big, like the Atlantic City Air Show, or Restaurant Week, things like that. So, but if you'll look, they're highlighted in yellow, and you can see which casinos have already scheduled something.
Nice. Well, definitely check out Darryl's website and sign up for his newsletter. He sent out a monthly newsletter. It's really well done. And again, join us if you're available. Thank you again for your time, Darryl.
Okay, Craig. Take care.
All right, you too.